Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. Thank you for joining me. You guys have been rocking and rolling down there in Southern California by the Salton Sea. 615 earthquakes. More likely, a lot more than that than what's being reported. USGS says it was a magnitude 4.9 earthquake. EMSC says it was a magnitude 5.0. Lots of damage reported, mostly things being knocked off the shelves. This earthquake occurred at 5:31 p.m. local time there. Some of the felt reports on EMSC. Whoa, hang on. Had to leave at least a 5.0. It was. Felt it very well in Bradley Walmart. It was closed soon after. Very good shake and wobble. Deep Jep Imperial. Big one it says here. 102 kilometers from where this earthquake occurred, so that would be about 63.4 miles, says felt movement, saw slight movement of suspended objects. 143 kilometers, that would be 88 miles from the location. Fifth floor rocking, La Jolla in San Diego, 151 kilometers. So that would be about 93 miles away. Slight rolling back and forth, 167 kilometers. Felt reports as far as close to Santa Barbara, Bullhead City to the west, Peoria to the east. Sorry about that, I get my directions mixed up. Down there in the Gulf of California. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. And then, according to the moment tensor ball, here we can see that the initial earthquake did a spreading of the fault line. It moved kind of a northeast direction. Tension, it says here, was applied to the east. Then, using Google Earth, I've covered the earthquake swarms that have been occurring over here in the past. The problem is we have the San Andreas fault line. It very well could trigger an earthquake along the San Andreas fault. Notice the spreading that we have here? Yeah, there's a fault line that goes through here, and we have spreading. Because of mismanagement of the water, and because of fracking, we got a lot of geothermal power plants along here. And there's also volcanoes in this area. Molten hot rock, that's why they're using the water to create electricity. But the lake is drastically drying up because of mismanagement, so the pressure from the water is no longer being applied to the ground, and it makes it easier for magma and the ground to lift up, and so we're having earthquakes. And you got to watch for the fault lines. See that? For the San Andreas fault line to be triggered because of these earthquakes. I have told you that any earthquake has a 5% chance of being a foreshock for a much bigger earthquake, and Southern California is overdue for a very large earthquake by about 350 years. Kathy Hayden posted a Twitter post that says, after an earthquake, be prepared for aftershocks. They can be severe and cause more damage. In the event of a power outage, use flashlights instead of candles. Yeah, you just don't know if you got any gas leaks. After this magnitude 5.0 earthquake, as of 8 p.m., there were over 240 earthquakes. According to USGS, this earthquake was in the Brawley seismic zone. This earthquake and the associated swarm are located in the area of diffuse, spread out seismic activity between the San Andreas Fault in the north and the Imperial Valley Fault in the south. In 1981, Westmorland had a swarm, which included a 5.8 earthquake, and then in 2012, a Brawley swarm, which was a magnitude 5.4. Past swarms have remained active for 1 to 20 days, with an average duration of about a week. The following three scenarios describe possibilities of what could happen from September 30th to October 7th. Could be another earthquake up to a magnitude 5.4, or an earthquake a magnitude 5.5 to a 6.9 within the next week, or a magnitude 7. They say that is less likely. Well, they can't predict earthquakes, right? So anything of these three scenarios is possible. This here is the U.S. hazard map. Let me pull it out for you. And we'll pull it out a little bit farther. Yeah, I guess they don't care what goes down there in Baja, California. But see this here? Yep, it goes all the way up around the Salton Sea. Or maybe it could trigger an earthquake along the San Jacinto Fault Zone. You just don't know. Let me pull this out and you can see all the red lines, which are the faults that I have drawn. There is a lot of felt reports of this earthquake on EMSC. You can go through them and read what people are saying. Here is a good Twitter post that actually shows the fault line of the San Andreas Fault Zone. It says, I tweeted a while back about a swarm of earthquakes at Bombay Beach on the Salton Sea. Now it looks like Westmorland is having a little party. Look at the timestamps. Geology nerds, get yourselves Quake Feed if you don't have it already. Dr. Lucy Jones, which has sold out to USGS, posted, it says, repeat time, quakes make other quakes more likely, but only nearby. Today's 4.9 fault is 2 miles across, so it can affect quakes within 5 miles. Only faults nearby are small. In other words, there is no scientific reason to predict a big quake in another location today. Another post by Dr. Lucy Jones, it says magnitude 5 is possible, but only at the same location. A magnitude 5 in the Imperial County has no impact in San Diego, Los Angeles, or San Francisco. Swarms in Imperial County are normal. One of the questions posted to her, and she never replied, what if it's within 5 miles of a large fault like the San Andreas? Could it trigger a quake anywhere on the length of that fault? Another question she did not reply to, what about the San Jacinto Fault? It runs from nearby Borrego Springs all the way through Hemet to Riverside. It produced a 7.3 in 1899, and it is very overdue to rupture. She never replied to that one either. He also posted the San Jacinto Fault, more active than the San Andreas, could produce damaging quake. This fault is near the current swarm. Very concerning. And he posts a link to the DesertSun.com news article. Now, you and I both know that there is damage, and they're really downplaying it. And it's very unusual that I cannot find images or videos of damage, which you know there is. I have seen one news report, and then I showed you the other reports of damage to the local Walmart, where goods were tossed off the shelves. So if you have those, please send them to me at marygreeley54gmail.com, and I'll share them with another video. Please stay safe. Like I said, any earthquake could be a foreshock for something much larger. It could trigger earthquakes on adjoining fault zones. Why they're downplaying the threat? Yeah, it is a little threat, but if people were prepared, and when the big one does finally decide to come, and it's overdue, maybe it could save lives. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you all. Bye.